Hello, good morning. This is DrRosmaini again, and I'm lecturing for part number 2 for this chapter 9. And this is continuing the lecture at the slide number 18, titling Strategy for Managing Capacity. So this case study is basically explaining on daily scheduling of a telephone operator work shift. You know, work shift is basically 24 hours operation and 7 days a week, and in which normally shift is being scheduled for 8 hours per shift, kind of working schedule. So telephone operator means that it is a call center. For example, like telecom, they have a call center in which users normally call at any time, any point, asking for additional service or getting technical support or asking or simply as asking for help. So this is the chart, the histogram chart that is showing from 12 midnight until the next 12 midnight. So this is a 1 day operation for demand of calls, right? So if you take a look on the curve of the histogram or the peak of this histogram, basically you would say the lowest peak of people are calling the call center is around 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. Of course, this is very low peak time in which humans are active. So when the time passes to 8 o'clock and 9 to 10, and at 11 is the highest peak or the most frequent people call to get help or to answer inquiry for the call center. So as the time goes to the afternoon and later go to the afternoon part, later to the evening, the number of frequency of calls entering call center is basically reducing on in the midnight time. Okay, respectively, if this is the call situation for the whole 24 hours, then the call center or the company or like Celcom must equip the call center with appropriate level of human resources, or for example, the number of operators or the number of receptionists or the number of people who will take up the call. So this is the number of operators in which they engage some operators still during the late night time, right? And of course, it will pick up somewhere respectively around 10, 11, and 12, and later it will reduce down the number of telephone operator that is reading to entertain customer service. So in other words, the service capacity, okay, which is this is the capacity because the people are lining up to take up the service, must equal achievable level of output, right, per unit time. So even if there are many people being assigned, for example, 25 operators at maybe around 2 o'clock or 1 p.m., so the level of output per unit time should be equivalent ideally in most of the time. So the more people available to cater for public call, the more I would say service that could be delivered to customer. So it is uh, it is said that 89% of the time call must be answered within 10 seconds. So this is one of the requirement of the call center. Normally they set certain target in which all calls within 10 seconds must be answered. So this is the summary of the daily scheduling of telephone operators work shift in a particular phone center company. So let's take a look on this LP, stands for linear programming model for weekly work shift schedule for 2 days of constraint. For example, within a week you have 7 days, And by this company policy, out of those 7 days, 2 days should be off. For example, Monday to Friday is working, then Saturday and Sunday is off. So the objective function, how does it work, is this x I equal to is these are number of employee x1, x2, x7. So it means 7 employees. Bj is equal to the number of needed staff level, right? That is the optimum number of staff must be available to serve the shift. For example, you have these 7 employees from 1 to 7. Then now you have a number of days to work, right? Which is 7 days, Sunday to Saturday. So on Sunday, employee number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and 6 must work, right? And this is they must be either bigger or equal to number of the needed staff. And alternatively and iteratively on Monday, then staff number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 got to work. And then Tuesday, again, iteratively, staff number 4, number 5, 6, and 7, and 1 must work. So in between their working day within the week, they have 2 days rest here. These are the rest day. So service provider like hospital or police station, they need to work 24 hours all around the clock, and in such a way staff must work 5 days per week and with 2 days off. And this is how we linear program it to make sure all the employees have the fair or equal load of job in order to deliver service to their company. Linear programming solution for weekly for work shift schedule also can be arranged in this way, right? For example, this nurse uh, for this particular clinic, they have 8 nurses, nurse number 1 until number 8, and you have 7 days for working, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday until Saturday. Then for nurse number 1, she works on Sunday and Monday. So nurse number 2, they works on Monday and Tuesday, and respectively nurse number 3, number 7, and number 8, right? They work for that particular week on Sunday and also Saturday. In total, it is estimated that for each day they have these 6, 5, 6, 5, and 7 total number of nurse working, right? And by this less than BJ demand, which is previous, okay, BJ means the needed staff level. The optimum number of staff must be present for working. So the required needed number of staff working is 3 for Sunday, for Monday 6, and so on, up to Saturday also 5. So under this situation, they can control the access or the number of people that is basically more than what is needed. So in this matrix, actually you can program it so that it can show that every day who are working and who are not working, right? So this is what they call schedule matrix. Basically, this metric shows the work shift schedule for the number of days that the nurse is rest, right? So basically, Sunday, Monday rest, Monday, Tuesday rest, and the rest of the number of days, like 5 days, they are working, right? So that is just some additional explanation. Okay, let's take a look on the strategy for managing capacity. What we can do to increase, to better manage our capacity within our working business service environment. So one strategy is to increase customer participation. For example, as a co-producer. So other than workers, service company could engage a customer as their co-producer, which is, for example, Air Asia Airline. So after you book your airline ticket, normally under current situation of job process arrangement, the customer will print their airline ticket, and customer also will print their boarding pass. So that is one way to reduce Air Asia employees to manage this boarding pass printing with their own company printer. So in the other perspective, to better manage staff capacity at Air Asia, so you or the ticket buyer has to print his or her own, I would say, boarding pass or their airline ticket for their access to the flight. The second strategy for managing capacity, service company could engage the creating adjustable capacity, right? Like which is done in Benihana in Tokyo. So this is a restaurant with a specialty in, for example, like making sushi, right? So Benihana, what they have done to adjust their capacity is they are offering for the customer to see their chef cooking their dish at their at this desk preparation food, so that by that, so customer can have the opportunity to see how is the food is being prepared in terms of cleanliness, in terms of appropriateness, and in terms of hygiene. So customer can observe directly how the food is being prepared for them. And at each of these bench, they have one chef. Instead of in normal restaurant, one restaurant got one chef, and at Benihana of Tokyo, they have many chefs, and each chef basically servicing that particular table and for that particular customer. That is adjusting capacity. The third strategy to manage capacity also can be done by sharing capacity. For example, airlines, sometimes they share their uh, uh, aeroplane to the other business associate airlines, or even to their competitor. So if they have been leasing so many aeroplanes, so if they found that the demand is suddenly decreasing, they can lease their plane to the other airline which is needing more plane, or perhaps they have more customer. Okay, that is on sharing capacity. The third strategy for managing capacity is basically through cross-training employee, or they call it stocker call to work at a point of sale. Okay, for example, in the supermarket, normally they have many types of employees that work at every individual section, right? For example, there are section for example, a wet market. There are section and employees working at the furniture segment. There are employees who are working at electronics department. So stocker called to work at POS, it means that if they are found the situation in which the cashier is quite jammed, in which there are so many customers are queuing up to make the payment of their purchase item, or they need to make the purchase. So if the number of cashier is not enough, so the employer could reassign employee perhaps from the lesser load department, for example, in the inventory or stocking or warehousing. They have more free time, and they could call all these stocker, people who are stocking up at the inventory, so to go to the cashier counter to help the point of sales people. So in this way, they need cross training. For example, stocker, people who are maintaining or topping up their inventory, must be trained in order to handle the cash payment or checking out station, so that they can do a proper job. So by that way, a company can manage their capacity better by balancing out with the department which are not fully loaded at that particular time, and they are being shifted to the other department which are needing assistance or support to clear the jam in the I would say checking out counter. The fifth strategy for managing capacity is called using part-time employees, like post office or school. Like remember, like post office, it is very much influenced by the seasons during the year. During the festive season, like Deepavali or Kongsi Fachai or Raya Puasa, these are very peak season in which normally they need additional helping hand to clear all the postages, parcel, and delivery. So as a result, the service company like post office, they engage part-time to help clear up uh, uh, so, the movement of the parcel that need to be delivered. So those are five strategies that can be engaged by service provider in order to have a more balanced workload schedule for their employee at all times. Okay, this is scheduling part-time bank tellers, right? So if this is a bank, normally they have the counter employee who are serving directly to customer. This is what they call bank tellers. So instead of employing permanent banking executive to serve customer, they could result to perhaps engage a part-time teller, right? Say for within 1 week, from Monday, Tuesday up to Friday, 5 days. So they only need two full-time tellers. So there are only two full-time tellers. And if there is a peak season for higher demand for the service, perhaps they can engage a part-time teller to work for them, right? So first, they need to arrange in terms of their histogram with the highest number of tellers required, right? And then followed by less requiring tellers, or even two tellers are needed on Thursday. However, on Friday, you need five tellers part-time, right? On Thursday, you just need two part-time tellers. So all this could be scheduled into their daily part-time work schedule, in which uh, Monday, how many and who are working, right? And Wednesday, who are working, teller 1 and also teller 2, right, and so on. So in this way, we could say that by scheduling part-time bank tellers, they could balance out the load at certain festive season to be handled properly, so as to avoid delay in delivery to customers. Okay, let's discuss on ideal characteristic of yield management. What is yield management? Yield management refers to that out of that so many resources you have, so how many of them you make use of those resources to deliver value to your company. Okay, this yield management relatively fixed capacity, for example, like business in airline or hospitality, like in hotel, right? Because yield management is very important, so that company must have the ability to segment the market. Segment the market, for example, like airlines, like Emirates, they could segment into perhaps business class passengers or economic class passengers. Like Air Asia, they could segment the I would say customers from those having the business class segment, or hot seat segment, or economic seat segment. Okay. Since service is a perishable inventory, if it is not being delivered, so it's not taken by that particular time frame, then it's gonna be gone. It is destroyed, or it become perishable. Okay. The characteristic for managing yield is the fact that in this situation, product could be sold in advance, like hedging, right? For perhaps jet fuel for airline industry. Normally, they have this kind of hedging practice. Okay, so to better manage yield, product could be sold in advance, like in the form of booking, right? So if the demand is fluctuating, so yield management can also manage better fluctuation in demand, right? And low marginal sales costs and higher capacity change costs. Okay, in airline, it is high capacity change cost. For example, you have been familiar and quite comfortable taking Emirates flight. Normally for long distance, it has high capacity change costs, right? So it's not easy to just merely change airline because you have preferred that particular airline so far, right? In other words, in order to balance between the demand and supply in the form of higher yield management, so that is in another way, basically one approach to maximize revenue or sales or income to the company. This is airline pricing for a coach set traditional approach, right? Normally, you have this kind of column on the y-axis named P or price, and there is a second horizontal column called x-axis in the form of quantity. So you know that all the price with that respective quantity, right, is highlighted with this yellow rectangular, in which that at this price and with this much of a quantity it is delivered, for example, number of seats available in Asia, so total revenue equal to price multiplied by quantity, in which a flight from perhaps Johor Bahru to Kuching will cost RM 250, and if within the aeroplane there are 18 seats for passengers, then the total revenue is basically 45,000, represented by the width and the height of this yellow region. So that is what they call total revenue that Asia is receiving. So a single demand curve, there is a consumer surplus if it is here, and there are seats available if you uh, uh, have this kind of demand curve for consumer surplus and also seat availability. Airline pricing for a coach seat multiple pricing using yield management instead of only one block of revenue here. So they could engage in the form of full coach, advanced purchase, or internet special. The offering of the ticket airline by AirAsia, for example. So like a full coach, it is at this quantity, advanced purchase at this range capacity, and at internet special rate, normally the time which is not preferred by customer, that is international special time to order by customer. So in this way, you could have three rectangular, okay, two and three rectangular to better manage yield instead of like the previous one, okay, only one rectangular, which is the total revenue. So in the next, I would say, graph, they said total revenue, there are three portions. This portion, and at P1, at P2 portion, right, this much, and also at 3 portion, right, this much. Okay, that is how airline practice as far as managing pricing by maximizing the yield management. Okay, so personal allocation of rooms by service class at resort hotel. So if you take a look, hotel, they also have customer who are not constant in terms of arrival or booking at this resort hotel. So say this is Lexis Hibiscus at Port Dickson, right? So these are the whole year of the season, which is summer season, fall season, winter season, or spring, right? So normally during summer, because it is hot, so a hotel offer more standard room for customer, right? First class only 30%, budget small of 10%. That is during hot season, or I think during the hottest season of the year called summer. And if it is in the fall, right? In the fall, so basically first class reduce, right? Standard also reduce, but budget is increasing from 10 to 30%. Okay, during winter or during snowy time off peak, so this is again 40%, right, availability. So they break it up, the first class into smaller portion to 20%, standard also shrinking to 30%. However, under winter situation, many more and more people perhaps traveling. So on the budget category, this off-peak season, 50% belong to the budget traveler, for example. Okay, and respectively also on shoulder. So this percentage of capacity allocated to different season fluctuates due to situation or market, right? So next, we could also control the demand by having a chart like for this hotel, right? So they have the they have the reservation graph against day before arrival, right? So expected reservation accumulation will occur somewhere here in between a red line and also yellow line. So budget rate class is open, right? Under here for budget, so it is open for booking. Budget rate close, budget rate class is closed. It is represented by this dark line, right, which is somewhere here. So in this way, the service provider like hotels laser could control the expected reservation accumulation by having this standard two standard deviation control limits, right? This is upper limit, lower limit, in which the demand control chart of a hotel occur normally within this rate, I would say, curve, right? Yield management using the critical fractal, we use this formula, right? What is the number of seat reserved for full fare passenger? It is a maximum ticket cost. D, demand for full fare ticket. F, capital F is full fare price. Capital D, discount fare price. C, mu loss revenue associated with reserving one too few seat at the full fare. C now equal to means cost of reserving one too many seats for sale at a full fare, or overestimating demand. So the formula is P, probability D less than X. It should be less than CU divided by CU plus CO, and that should be less than F minus D over F, which is full fare price minus discount fare price and divided by full fare price. Okay, let's apply this formula to a real-time business service situation. For example, Air Asia. So Asia has flight from Senai to Bangkok, right? So a low season with a low order, especially year end or during rainy months, there's going to be low seasons. X is a number of seat reserved for full fare passengers, say 150. Okay. D, demand for full fare tickets. Say the available demand is 120. Full fare price is 690 ringgit. Discount fare price, it has worth of 490 Malaysian ringgit. So loss avenue under estimating demand equal to 200 ringgit. Full flare cost of estimating demand, which is RM 490. So if we plug all these number into the formula, so it becomes that 200, right, divided by 200 plus 490, right, in which it means that loss revenue, okay, being added, right, to uh, C null full flare cost over estimating period, which is 490 ringgit. So if this formula is plugged in into the above formula, so it will become like this 200 divided by 200 plus 490, which is less than 690, which is F, a full fare price, minus D, which is discount fare, divided by 690. Above all, the calculation give result that PDX is less than 0.2892, in which the probability of 90% or less to happen can be found in this critical fractal model. Okay, class, this is about 21 minutes of my lecture this morning. I would like to adjourn this session. So I would like to thank you for your attendance and also for your attention in following my lecture. Okay, all the best. I will say goodbye and thank you.